Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.
This is the Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Show, NBA Fantasy Week 18. We are back, and what an exciting time with the trade deadline just closing up. Players in new locations. We've been recycling similar players for the past 3 weeks, and that could get a little boring. That we've seen him before,
right?
But with this trade deadline, players in new places open up opportunities. It opens up avenues for you to maybe make a push. So you want to get ahead of it. So we're going to have a buy or sell section, something different than a normal week based on these trade deadline news. I am your host, James Lewis, at JLewis0789, 07 being the year I graduated high school, 89 being the year I was born. I am joined again by Jacob Dunne. You can find him at Ain't Done Yet. That's Dunne. Because of his last name.
That's right.
On Twitter, thoughts, implications of our trade deadline, whether it's the world of basketball or whether it's fantasy based.
Oh, man, what a trade deadline it was. All right, after last year's dud of a deadline, it was cool to see all the transactions made last Thursday. Like, I recently uploaded a video on the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube page titled Fantasy Deadline Winners, where I go over widely available players that saw their fantasy stocks rise. So check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack and a lot of gems hidden on the wire, and I can't wait to unpack it with you, brother.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we got to talk about the one main thing. I really want to hear your thoughts because we haven't even discussed James Harden.
Yes, sir.
Going to Philly for a guy that has not been playing in quite some time, and Ben Simmons, and seems like a good fit for both teams, at least for this season.
I love it. Yeah, especially me being a Ben Simmons fantasy manager. I rejoiced when I saw this because it was getting kind of close to the wire. Like, am I going to get Ben Simmons? Like, I've been holding him all year, and finally it paid off. So it was cool to see him get traded. But I also want to see Ben Simmons play, just because I love watching him play. Like, you could have your thoughts about how he handled the situation. I get it. But he is a stud on the court. And also James Harden. Like, it's going to be fun watching Harden and Joel
Embiid. The pick and roll going to be crazy.
Yes, man. The pick and roll is going to be fire. So I'm pumped to see these two teams play.
And it opens up an opportunity for Thibault to play more. Yeah. You couldn't play him and Ben at the same time.
Right.
You can find that role. You still have Danny Green, multiple-time NBA champion. You have Tyrese Maxey that can play on the ball, off the ball. They're still threatening. They gave up some pieces. Andre Drummond seemed perfect in the non-Joel Embiid minutes. They sent Seth Curry, who's one of the league's best three-point snipers, along with 2 first-rounders. They're going to have to pay James Harden upwards of $247 million if they decide to sign that extension, and that back end when he's 37, 38, getting $60 million might not be the best. But we all know Joel Embiid's injury history. You have a small window, so I'm not mad at it. I love the fit with Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant as far as the offense and defensive makeup, and who knows, maybe they change the vaccine employee sanctions, and if that happens and you have Kyrie for both home and away games in the playoffs, you got a chance. You got a chance with Kevin and Kyrie, and then you throw in Ben Simmons and Seth Curry and a hopeful Harris coming back. It's exciting. It makes the fans and playoff basketball better now that you see teams hopefully at their full strengths.
Yes, and mark your calendars, guys. We get to see the Nets and the 76ers play on March 10th. So get your popcorn ready. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's go. With All-Star Week, you have a 2-week bubble, February 14th through 27th. That makes not all of the schedule equal. And in this time, and I thought it was interesting. Let me start with the teams that only play 3. I thought it was interesting LeBron gets 3 games in 2 weeks through this process. And hopefully you see a regrouping between him, AD, and Russ. They didn't make any moves at the trade deadline, so they're sticking with the team they have assembled. Cleveland, they're hosting the All-Star game in Orlando, the team that a lot of people don't really care about right now. So these teams have 3. All teams have 4 outside of the rest that have 5. This includes Boston, I almost said New Jersey Nets. There's a Brooklyn Nets. There's a new look at them.
Yep.
Your Denver Nuggets, Detroit Pistons, Houston Rockets, Clippers, Pels, and the Suns. So if you're fantasy owners of players within those teams, you're happy that you have a bonus 5th game. But again, you got to wait 2 weeks to see these results if you are head-to-head.
Right.
Let's get into our top waiver picks of the week. And our number 1 guy is...
Devin Vassell, guys. Vassell moved into the starting lineup Friday, replacing the recently traded Derek White, and the 21-year-old sophomore did not disappoint. All right, accumulating 20 points, 5 boards, 3 dimes, and a steal across 28 minutes. All right, his per 36 has him scoring 16.3 points, along with 6.1 boards, 2.2 dimes, 2.5 threes, and 2.3 stocks. Okay, so if the Florida State product is available in your league, make the move and don't look back.
Threes, steals, points production, and he's looking confident.
Yes, sir.
Pick him up. Darius Bazley. To me, he's almost a must-own. And that's surprising to say because I've never been too high on him, but he's rebounding very well. He's scoring more than he's ever has. He's hitting 1.5 threes and getting these steals. Just yesterday, 14 points, 15 rebounds, 2 threes. That's rosterable in any league. And right now, he's only 44% rostered as of February 12th, this Saturday morning. So get on top of it if you can for a little Darius Bazley, another OKC prospect that is hot right now. And it's our first PoKu preview. Alexei Poshevsky, 21% rostered in this last week. He was averaging 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2.3 threes, and 2.3 stocks. He had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 3-pointers, and 6 stocks on February 9th. Give him a look.
PoKu is definitely he is heating up just because, he was sent down to the G League earlier this year because he just looked like a deer in headlights. He didn't know what to do. And I think the G League really helped him get into a groove. And now the Thunder are reaping the benefits. And he is available in over 95% of Yahoo and over 99% of ESPN. So if you need that upside move, I would definitely add PoKu. Cameron Johnson. All right, Cameron Johnson, guys. I mean, he's always good for threes and he's good for, like those like low end points and rebounds. So if you need that consistency coming in, he's not a very sexy fantasy guy, but he gets it done with the points and rebounds and assists and with those threes. You're really streaming him for those threes. Everything else is just gravy.
And watching him against the Bucks, which may be a finals repeat matchup.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they used him with the ball in his hand a little bit, running some pick and roll. And that's something that I haven't seen too much of him in his career, as he's known for his shooting. But he's better at attacking the rim than you think. He will dunk on you if he gets the opportunity. And he seems to be getting a little bit better each and every year. And he's the kind of the forgotten piece of this Phoenix Suns roster that is just incredible to watch as they grow and get better each and every day. Even their cap, the point guard, seems like he just gets a little bit better each day. Devin Booker's playing so much smarter than he used to.
Right.
He's shooting a 3 better than he ever has.
Yeah.
And they got the coolest jerseys in the league and maybe the best home court possible. That crowd just gets raucous for their team.
Sure, dude. That's the first word that came to my mind as well. Ruckus. I love it.
All right. So Miles Turner and Doma Sabonis say goodbye. This might have seemed like a shocker as people probably pegged Turner as the more likely candidate to get traded. Instead, you see Sabonis get traded for a young budding star in Tyrese Maxey. And with people leaving comes opportunity.
That's right. O'Shea Brissett, guys. I have been touting this guy all season as you need to stash him because we know that Sabonis and Turner are probably on their way out. Well, Sabonis is out, and O'Shea Brissett has started the past 2 games. All right. And last Friday's game, he racked up 18 points, 11 boards, 3 assists, and a 3-pointer while playing 38 minutes. All right. I know that Isaiah Jackson got hurt in this game, but Isaiah Jackson would probably be my number 1 add if that ankle injury isn't as severe as because it's the same ankle that has kept him out the last 3 games. He played last Friday. He got 3 steals in 12 minutes, and then he got hurt. Isaiah Jackson looks phenomenal, but O'Shea Brissett is starting, and he has been in Indiana. And what I like about him is that he's one of the few big men there who have been in Indiana over the past 2 years. So he's comfortable with that Pacers offense. So I think that head coach Rick Carlisle plays him until he gives him reason not to. So I would definitely stream O'Shea Brissett until the wheels fall off, or if they ever do.
And fantasy owners last year know that O'Shea Brissett was huge come playoff time. He had really just played very well. He helped me win my championship, and we love our viewership over there in Canada. So Canada, stand up. For another great fine product in the NBA and O'Shea Brissett. This was a topic that would come up later in our buy or sell, but I have to give it a mention since we're on the Pacers topic, and that is they did acquire Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, the number 10 overall pick. These numbers featured here: 15 points, 10 rebounds, 1 block, and a steal were coming when DeAndre Ayton was out. But now a young, it seems like promising young player from the University of Maryland and over here in Baltimore gets a new opportunity. So he should be at the top of your watch list. You never know what's going to happen there in Indiana. Go guys played well when he's gotten some time, and they still have him. Turner is still there. I guess he's the staple, but he's kind of had an injury-riddled season.
Right.
But there is opportunity there in the Pacers, and I'm actually curious to see how this guard lineup works with Brogdon coming back, because I could see them playing Brogdon, Halliburton, and Hield at the same time. They can still guard players, and then offensively, I think you put the ball in Tyrese Halliburton's hand, and it's going to just be really exciting to see how that all plays out. And then you have some wiggle room come the offseason with so much at one position. News coming out this week that we are super watching, fantasy owners. Yes, Jamal Murray is coming off an ACL injury, so he probably won't play back-to-backs or give you too many minutes. But we know when he does play, he gives you production, and we just feel really bad because he's just one of our bright young players. And, hey, he's from Canada as well.
That's right. Stand up.
And Michael Porter Jr., who had back surgery in December, they say that he has hope that he comes back. If they get both of these guys back for the playoffs, what a dangerous team, because we all know Nikola Jokic is playing. He was the MVP last year, and he's one of our best players in the entire NBA.
That's right. Yeah, I'm excited for it, but I'm very skeptical. I'm skeptical that Michael Porter Jr. can get back before the year ends. Now, I don't want to poo-poo on your parade, my man.
Do you use an IL spot?
Okay, so
if you have one.
Right. So I'm thinking if you have an open IL spot and you are up in the standings, then I would use it. But if you are fighting for that playoff spot and you don't have any room on your IL, don't bother, because we need to make all the moves necessary to make sure that we get into the playoffs. So don't worry about missing out on Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. if it means that you made the playoffs, because we don't want them to be the reason that you miss out. So don't stash if you already have a full IL. But hey, if you have an open slot, why not? And I would go after Jamal Murray first and then Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree.
Okay. I was wondering if you thought the same. So
well, and also I'm glad you clarified this, because I did not pick either one of these up. I'm not telling you to do it, but if you have 3 IL spots and none of them are used, they're all vacant, you could use one of your pickups
for
these positions. I know that's a rare position. I have Zion and Malcolm Brogdon as taking up 2. I can't use my third to pick up one of these guys. So I actually went on the side of caution, even though I drafted Jamal Murray at the beginning of the season in one of my leagues. I ran out of room and capacity, but I'm kind of more excited for if they can come back for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Trade season. Trades have occurred, and little moves, big splash moves have got us all excited. So we got to do a little buy or sell / watch, because we're watching these guys, or we're picking them up before the trend happens, or we're just like saying, no, I just don't see this working out in this place. And one, I'm going to send this to Jacob for a buy or sell on Mr. Justice Winslow.
Justin Winslow. I am all in on Justin Winslow. All right. Winslow was shipped to the Blazers last week, and he has been crushing it in the starting lineup over the past 2 games, averaging 11.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 swipes, 1 block, and a 3-pointer in 33.5 minutes. We all know what he is capable of. Back when he was on the Miami Heat, he was a 9-cat stud. And if he sticks in the starting lineup in Portland, he could be a 9-cat dandy the rest of the season. So he is a must-add for me in all leagues, and start him with confidence as long as he is starting.
And he is starting. He's been playing 30 minutes the past 2 games. So you see a little confidence in Chauncey Billups, and hoping for a resurgence in his NBA career, as you said and mentioned. And it was promising there in Miami, and since then it really has not been. So from one Duke product, and for the record, I'm gonna stay off of the Justice Winslow wagon. I don't think he scores enough points. I know he does get steals, but personally, I'm staying away.
Okay.
From one Duke product to the next, Marvin Bagley is in Detroit, and who knows? This could be the move that works. And just last month, he was playing some minutes. Obviously, they were pumping him up for trade season. We heard rumblings that Detroit really, was one of the only teams that wanted him. He's 27% rostered. He did average 13 points and 8 rebounds. That's almost like a career mark, and he shoots a high field goal percentage. He's not going to give you too much else, but he did average 0.8 blocks. That's like that's like okay.
Yeah.
Don't pick him up now, but give him a watch.
Yeah, exactly. For me, he doesn't supply enough steals and blocks to be a must-add in 9-cat, but in points leagues, I actually like him a lot because he can rack up those points and rebounds because that's what he's good for, those bare bones stats. So he is good in points leagues. I would have liked him a lot better if Olynyk or if Jeremy Grant was shipped out and it was just him in the front court. In the backcourt, I mean. But still, I mean, he has enough upside. He gets a fresh start in Detroit. Why not see what he can do?
And if I'm Detroit, why not see what I can get for Jeremy Grant? It seemed like he was at his peak value, still on contract. And then Kelly Olynyk, he could have squoze up either 2 second rounds or maybe even a first round from a contending team. I don't know why Detroit really held tight on both those players that don't seem like part of their future going forward.
Right.
But that's here or there. They are the Detroit Pistons for a reason. Davis Bertans. And a shocker of a trade for me as a Wizards fan. I think this was a steal. I don't know what the Mavericks were thinking because they had been playing great defensive basketball, and Porzingis had a lot to do with that. Bertans, these stats are from his 2019-2020 season, which got him his massive contract that is up until 2024-25. In which he shot 42% from the three-point line and averaged nearly 4 3-pointers a game. And maybe Luka likes this guy and he's a good pairing, but I don't who plays the 5. I just don't see it. I don't know. This was a bad move for me for the Mavericks. They've been playing so freaking well. Why would we change things? And I saw that they did extend Dorian Finney-Smith. That means that Jalen Brunson might be free agent, a hot free agent this offseason.
It was a very head-scratching trade to trade Kristaps Porzingis away, even though I think that Dallas just needed a fresh start. They were sick of the oft-injured big man. They just wanted a new start, and they must have liked.
Okay, maybe trade him while he's actually healthy.
Right. Okay. Exactly. Get as much value as you can, even though that wasn't much value. It could have just been like a salary dump. Plus, they think that they can contend without KP. But Davis Bertans in deeper leagues isn't a bad 3-point streamer. Just that's what his career has been. Even when he started in San Antonio, he has been that long range guy. So I like him. Like you said, James, Luka must like him spreading out the floor.
Yeah.
Spacing things out and taking those threes. So I like him as a 3-point streamer.
Yeah, Latvian laser to stream on that certain day that you really need threes. I'm selling for now on the pickup. I thought he had one of the worst contracts because you're getting paid that much, $16 million a year, and I really can't play yet. Defense just not.
Yeah, it's weird.
Accurable. I like this trade. Thaddeus Young goes to Toronto, and they've been playing their starters super heavy minutes, 35, 36, 37 minutes a game. They have 3 in the top 12 at least, and Gary Trent Jr. and Fred VanVleet, Pascal, OG. They all play heavy minutes. I think he just fits in with everybody. Who needs a blow?
Sure.
Thaddeus Young, he can play all the positions, and he guards well. He's a good passer. And he's definitely a fantasy ad if he's getting enough minutes. Last year, he 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, 56% from the floor. That's it. That's possible in any league. I suggest I'm a buy on Thaddeus Young and get ahead of the curve. He's only 26% roster in Yahoo leagues today.
Yeah, I mean he is expected to be available for Saturday's contest against the Nuggets. So I would definitely give him a watch if you are in shallower leagues. And like you said, James, if you are in a 16-plus team league, I would just make the ad now just in case you miss out on him if he does get 20-plus minutes off the bench for Toronto.
So I would even consider him in 12, depending on what you have in your league. And I almost pressed yes, but I had Cade Cunningham coming off my IL, and I just was in a bind because I'm gonna cut. I'm just gonna get to it. I'm gonna cut DeAndre Hunter. It's just I would have to cut someone else. Hunter just doesn't do enough for me. He gets some points. He gets some rebounds. He'll hit some threes. He's not hitting the 3 right now, but in the last week he didn't get a block or a steal. And he's known for his defense.
Right.
I think he's a better real player than fantasy, and he's not shooting the ball well right now. I would cut ties with DeAndre Hunter because he's a hit. He'll either get injured or he'll have a duds like he's had recently.
Yeah. He's always one of my favorite streamers, DeAndre Hunter, for his 3 and D stats, but I never expected him to maintain that hot pace when he first got off the IL. So he's definitely a drop for me as well.
Buy or sell on the trade. Last one. Dante DiVincenzo gets a new place and gets some opportunity now that Buddy Hield is gone. Tyrese Halliburton is gone. They bring in the Sacramento Kings, that is Dante DiVincenzo. And the year before, he got hurt in the playoffs. He averaged 10 points, 6 boards. He rebounds well as a guard. He defends well, 2 threes. That ain't nothing to scream home about. But if you're in deeper leagues, he's 8% roster in Yahoo. Go give him a look.
3 and D stats, baby.
And now I'm sending over our criminally under-rostered players to our boy, Jacob Young.
That's right, guys. We got Ayo.
Ayo to someone.
Ayo. You know what I'm saying? Ayo was dropped in a ton of leagues following a rough 2-game stretch, then missing a game due to injury. But you can't bench a starting point guard getting 35-plus minutes a game. Okay, he returned from injury and had a double-double with 14 points, 10 dimes, along with 3 steals and 2 3-pointers. All right, make sure this man isn't available in your league.
And this is with Kobe White and Alex Caruso back, and he's still playing. It just shows the confidence that Billy Donovan has in this just special rookie that's going to be on the all-rookie teams.
That's
either first or second, probably second team.
Right. All right, next we got Davion Mitchell, who to me is the biggest fantasy winner next to Devin Vassell. All right, Davion Mitchell, before being sent to the bench last game, the 23-year-old rookie was on a tear over his last 8 games, averaging 17.5 points, 5 dimes, 3 3-pointers, 2.6 boards, and 1.2 stocks, while shooting 48% from the field in 33.8 minutes. Now, even though he switched back to the bench, he still played 34 minutes last game and supplied 18 points, 7 dimes, 7 rebounds, a steal, and a block. So whether Mitchell re-enters the starting lineup or comes off the bench, I believe the Baylor product is going to be a stud rest of season.
Another all-rookie second-team candidate, if you ask me.
Definitely.
Love me some Davion Mitchell. Opportunity. It's so funny they gave up their 2 bigger guards and they kept the little ones.
Right.
I guess it just works out that way, and they really believe in Davion Mitchell. They drafted him in the lottery, even though they had Swiper Fox, and we'll see how that works out with the Doma Sabonis era coming forward, which I'm excited to watch how that plays out. We're going to finish things with our player of the week, and this is a no-brainer. It's Luka legend, Luka Doncic. Amazing 2-week run, and just actually the last couple months after having a slow start to the beginning of the season, he's averaging 34 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists on 52% shooting, 4 threes, which is 1.4 swipes. And he is the Clipper killer, even though he can't beat them in Game 7. He gives them everything that they want. 51 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 3-pointers made on February 10th. Luka Doncic, we love the way you play the game of basketball, and we can't wait for the next 15 to 20 years of this.
Just a stud, man. I mean, we always knock him for not having like those defensive stats, but he's been supplying that 1.4 steals a game over the last 2 weeks. So he's been doing pretty much everything for you. He's carrying your fantasy team. He's so much fun to watch. Love it. Luka, baby.
Let's finish with some plug talk. We are a proud member of Fantasy Points Media. And we're asking you to please tune into our Triple Play Fantasy Podcast every week for baseball, football, and basketball. Our Triple Play YouTube channel drops content every day, all 3 sports related and some other stuff, some fantasy foodies. Art's dabbled in some chess. Like we're just trying to keep you entertained. Our subscriptions go up, and we just appreciate your viewership, your comments, your subscriptions, and we'll see you next week. 2 weeks from now, actually. We might get an off week here as the fantasy season is 2 weeks, but we'll try to drop some content in between. For Jacob, I'm James, and we'll see you next time.